Hello YouTube, VG Time back with another video, this time for the Hercule leader. This is a promo leader and one of my favorite leaders in the game because it does several things fairly uniquely. And it is also an effect that ages pretty well with the game. I know a lot of people may not have seen this leader, so let me just go over his effects. He has an activate battle once per turn that is only able to be activated on your turn, where you could look at the top two cards of your deck, choose any battle cards from among them, and combo with them. It does not have to be on his attack. It could also be on one of your battle cards' attacks. Because you combo with those cards, and any other cards also just go to the drop. Because you combos with those cards, with his skill, you don't have to pay the combo cost for them. So that allows you to play some pretty strong cards that you would normally have to pay 1 or 2 energy to combo with for free. And because he fills up the yard pretty well, he also helps to fuel Overwhelm. And because, again, he has free combo power, he could fuel a rival. He only has 1,000 attack, so he is a defensive liability. But you're not really in there for the long haul with this guy. You're trying to end the game pretty quickly by playing really efficient threats. And he has an Awaken ability. When he's at 4, he draws 2 cards. On the backside, he has Activate Main, which is to basically end the game. It's similar to like how the Gohan's Activate Main to give him triple strike. It's kind of meant to end the game, or else you just die. He's 5,000 attack on this side, but his Activate Main once per turn is you get to discard your hand. It gives him plus 50,000 power. If you happen to discard 5 or more cards, then he gets triple strike. So he ends up swinging for 55k triple strike. And then when he attacks, you get to draw a card. So whatever card you get to draw, you can use that card to combo onto him to make him a little bit bigger in the attack. And have also some other ways to augment him. But the main thing is you kind of want to be on this front side for as long as possible. Unless you feel that you could win the game on that turn, then you might want to turbo awaken yourself. So let's just get into the deck profile. This deck is made for consistency first, so we run a lot of redundant cards. So I play 4 copies of Intensifying Power Trunks. Your typical Self-Awakening, you swing, you take a life. It gets plus 10k in crit. He's one of your main attackers to allow you to deal damage to your opponent without giving them cards, so that your leader's one-shot effect has a better chance of going through. Deck is red-green, so I also run Newfound Power Son Gohan. Does the same exact thing as the Trunks does. Just gives you an option to be able to start on another color. Now, as far as the cards that we want to be comboing with the leader's effects, we play 4 copies of Hidden Power East Supreme Kai, as well as 4 copies of Furthering Destruction Champa. They're virtually the same card. There's a little bit of nuance with the Supreme Kai, but basically, if you combo with these cards, you get to give the card that's attacking double strike. So that way, when you swing with the 1-drops to become double strike crit to further disrupt your opponent. Then we play 4 Infernal Villainy Cells and 4 Unbreakable Son Goku. These again do the same things. When you combo with them, you draw a card. So even if you don't happen to get the Champa off of the effect of the leader, if you could get some of these and draw the cards, sometimes you draw them. And then if your resources are there for you, you could use the combo of the Champa from your hand. And then the last of this style of card that we really want to hope to see, we have No Opening Son Goku. This card right here is more so to help you self-awaken even faster. It has an effect that has been ruled a particular way. So basically, when you combo with this card during your turn, if your leader is yellow at the end of the battle, you put him into play. Then there's a period, and it says, then choose up to one of your cards from your life and add it to your hands. So because it has that period and then, it is ruled that the taking of the life is not associated with your leader being yellow. So that's what allows you to reveal it off for Hercule's effect and to be able to take a life. Now, next up is the last card you kind of want to see comboed, which is Sun Goten Family of Justice. I played 3 copies of this. This allows you to clear off little pesky blockers, as well as other utility cards that might be a problem. One card that people used to play against me a lot of times was Crisis Crusher Son Goku back in the day. Crisis Crusher doesn't really show up anymore, but if something like that or his light comes up, you could swing with the leader, activate the effect, hopefully see this card, pop it, and then continue with business as usual. Now, as I mentioned, well, let me go to the super combo first. The super combo choice is 4 copies of Android 18 Bionic Blitz. This card right here doesn't trigger off your leader effect, but because of the amount of cards you typically see, it's pretty cool to just get a couple of these stacked up in your hand, combo them, and take more cards away from your opponent, especially when they're dealing with critical attacks. All right, so next up, as I mentioned, it does help to facilitate rival because of the red and the green that you're going to be revealing. This is a card that I have for a rival, but I think there's actually a much better card. The card that I have is Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta Resonant Explosion. Very cool card. You can rival it if you have a red and green in the combo area for a singleton red. And when it comes down, it pops a battle card with a cost 4 or less. So again, if you need to remove little pesky things, you could do that so you could get through with your other cards. He's also 20k in double strike, so he could take your opponent from 5 to 3, which is very important. But personally, if I had the card, I would run it in here. I would actually run Champa Beerus because that card also does the removal, but it also gives double strike to one of your other battle cards. So that way you could combo him into play, remove something, then give the power and the double strike to one of your crit attackers, which is a little bit more important than attacking with him per se. Then, because you fill up the drop area pretty well, we have Overwhelm in the deck. This is probably one of the most important cards in the deck, Time Patrol Trunks. In the general sense of meta, he has been supplanted by the Supreme Kai or even the Bardock. But in this deck, you kind of need his manipulation ability. He overwhelms for 3, so he comes out for free, basically. And then you get to look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose one of them, put it to your hand, and then put the other one on top or the bottom of the deck. So it allows you to see what's coming up, so when you use your Hercule effect, it's less of a risk. If you see that there's a Chomp on top and some other card, you take the other card, put the Chomp on top, activate the leader's effect, and then you get it. And then the other piece of Overrun we run, I'm running this at 4, but you can easily chop one, add another Gogeta or another of the cards that I have coming up. Or if you happen to have the Beerus Champa, run 3 Beerus Champa. But it's Dark Temptation Toa. She has Overwhelm for 3, same thing as the Time Patrol Trunks. Except for her effect is that she gives your leader plus 5k and make him discard a card, make your opponent discard a card as long as your leader is green or yellow, which the Hercule is green, so it works for him. So this allows your backside leader to swing for 60,000 instead of swinging for 55. And sometimes that extra 5k is just exactly what you need. And then lastly, I play a little defense in the deck. I play 2 copies of Bodyguard Legic. He comes out for free if your opponent controls a battle card and you control none. So this is really good when you're going second. Your opponent might play like a little cantrip guy, and then you get to start your turn off with a 15k for free. And he's a blocker, so that helps. And then we play 3 copies of Agma, Compassionate Supremacy. This right here is another blocker, but he comes out for free if you happen to KO one of your opponent's battle cards. So that again goes to the Gogeta or the Sun Goten Family of Justice. If you're able to get one of those cards to trigger off, you get to play the Ogma for free, assuming you don't already have a copy of Ogma on the table. This deck is really fun. Could usually kill on turn 2 or turn 3. I usually suggest people to take the extra turn unless you just happen to have the nuts in hand. Reason being is that sometimes trying to force it leads to you losing too many resources in your lead up to trying to kill them. And if they happen to have a Sparking Negate, which is very popular nowadays, then you just kind of lose. Same thing could happen on turn 3, but there's a likelihood that your opponent might try to clear your board before it gets to that point, and then you could just redeploy and go for it. So if you have any questions about the deck, leave them down below. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more deck profiles. And if you know any things that, some tech pieces that might have came out since the last time I updated this deck, let me know down in the comment section. I'll give those things a try. I'm always looking for tech on this deck. So have a great day.